Welcome to the Investor Shed Podcast with Nick Beveridge, the ultimate source for all things investing and beyond. For free tools, tips, and tricks, go to northidaho.rei.com. Today's episode features Chad Young. Chad is an entrepreneur who has a larger wholesaling business in the Northwest. We talk about his background, business ownership, advertising, and much more. Stay tuned.
All right, Chad Young. Thank you for coming. We're going to awkwardly shake around microphones.
Yeah, no worries, man. I'm excited to be on this. I've seen at least a couple of these, and I've learned stuff from every single one of them, so I'm excited to be on it.
That is good to hear. I think you and 14 other people are hearing what we have to say here at this.
Yeah,
okay.
Everything starts.
So how long ago did you start in real estate?
It's a good question. So I've been dabbling in real estate for like 10 years, but I got really serious about it probably about a year ago and launched the company that we have now on the first of the year. So I've really been hitting it hard since January 1, 2020. So
okay, yeah, and because I remember meeting you back at one of the REI clubs. Just before you kind of really got into it, but I think you said you were going to start mail out like 5,000 letters at the time. And I'm like, man, I got to take this guy out for coffee.
Yeah.
And edit that part out.
But that was nice.
And I know you had another business prior to this.
Yeah.
Are you still in that business?
I am. Yeah. We're doing we have a janitorial company that my wife and I founded about 8 years ago, right about the time we got married. And yeah, it's doing great. We have a manager that manages most of that, and I have pretty little involvement in it, which is the way I want it. I kind of believe that businesses should work for you, not the other way around. So
wait, so you've been doing that 10 years?
8 years. Yeah.
8 years. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You don't look that old. When did you start that?
I'm not. So I'm 29 now. We got married. We started in 2013, so I would have been 22 at the time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
and at that time, did you have employees?
No, my wife and I started out. So we saw that her parents owned a janitorial company. We had other ones kind of scattered throughout our family, and we just were like, they get to work together, and like they make decent money, and they have days off, and that was just really appealing to me. I love spending time with my wife, and so we started a janitorial company, sent out mailers.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was ghetto, sending out mailers, like going down the phone book and just writing places. Anyways, we got
to businesses.
To businesses. Yeah. We got a vet clinic for our first account, and then took off from there. We have about 30 buildings we clean now in the area, and we have, I think, 11 employees, and so it's been a huge blessing. So
that's okay. So anybody who's like thinking of like starting an office somewhere, what could they expect to pay for janitorial costs like monthly?
Oh, it's not. Oh, as far as like how much we charge to clean their building, or like
just curious, like what's the average going rate? If somebody has like a smaller, I don't know, 2,000 square foot office, or our
minimum every month is $375, so we don't even touch anything less than $375, and that's actually starting to increase too. But our bread and butter, we target like 5 night a week accounts that are office and medical, and those are usually between $2,000 and $3,000 a month. So
wow,
that's like our bread and butter. The smaller accounts are they're okay, they're good, but they're more difficult to hire and manage out and things like that. So
right on. Okay. Yeah. So that was kind of in your family history? Is that what got you started doing that?
Yeah, we started it, and then ours quickly grew. I don't know. Everyone else in the family likes doing more of the mom and pop, like working it themselves, doing that.
Okay.
As I said, I don't want to clean toilets. I mean, we pay people really good money to clean toilets, and I'm so grateful for them, but that wasn't my passion. My passion was to grow a business. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. How much time do you spend like hiring and firing people in that business?
Firing almost never. We haven't had to fire somebody in a long time. And then hiring every 3 or 4 months, we seem to go through kind of a cycle of having to hire 1 or 2 more people. So it's really not that bad. The weeks that I hire, I probably spend 6 to 8 hours posting stuff, going through applications, things like that. So and then I turn everything over to our manager. So
Okay. Do you remember what like initially inspired you to actually grow a business out of it instead of just working it?
yeah, I've always, I don't know, business has always kind of been something that came naturally to me just by God's grace. And I just always, when you are doing something yourself, you're 100% limited. There's a ceiling you'll hit eventually. And to hit that ceiling and make a lot of money, you usually have to work a lot of hours.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that. I mean, not that I'm afraid of work. I love work. It's a very, very good thing. But I have a family and a life I want to live and things like that. And I want to be able to bless others. And you can only, if you're taking all those hours, you're taking hours from prospective employees and things like that. And so,
Right. Okay. So you're coming from a mindset of abundance then, where there's plenty of work out there.
Yeah.
You can share it with employees and,
Yeah.
and all that.
and if you really believe, like your business, as I'm sure you do in yours, that you are here to bless people and help other people, the bigger you get, the more you're able to do that for people, and just a bigger blessing you're able to get to people. So it's abundance mindset. So.
Yeah. No, I totally understand that. I feel like the more jobs I give away, the more money I make.
Totally. Yeah.
And the more I try to keep, anytime I've been in life, because I've been there, it's been a roller coaster, business the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
And anytime I try to keep something for myself and, I'm just going to work on this by myself, it doesn't go well.
Yeah.
And
That's the truth.
but in business, it seems to always go well when you just put the right person on the job and stay away from it and go create more jobs.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
totally agree.
So what, did you do anything before your janitorial business?
I was an Army reservist for 6 years. I joined when I was 17. While doing that, you're able to work a civilian job as well, which is really nice. And so I was a personal financial rep at a bank, opening like new accounts, health savings accounts, checking, things like that. And then I got a lot of my kind of sales experience in a commission position at an insurance agency local here that was Dickinson Insurance. And the guy that ran that was, I highly, highly respect. His name's JD, and he just taught me about numbers, just marketing, how it's just a numbers game. And I love that. I absolutely love that. I learned so much from that position. Did that for about 2 years, and then went straight into janitorial. So,
Okay. Wow.
yeah.
So you've done a lot.
Well, no, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have done a lot more, but
Yeah. Well, I'm sure, I mean, it helps to have a sales experience background before you jump into real estate in general, right?
yeah.
So what was it that actually motivated or pushed you towards going towards real estate?
I always wanted to invest in. We literally started the janitorial company so that we could have money to invest in real estate.
Okay.
Back when I thought you needed money to invest in real estate, I was
Yeah.
just naive to that at the time. But I'm one of those like weird kids that at 16 was reading like Rich Dad Poor Dad and like The Millionaire Next Door, and I've always been fascinated by real estate. I had my grandpa in town flipped like over 200 homes in the area. That's all he did for his career, other than ministry and things like that. But I've just always, I see super, super successful people, and 90% of the time they did something with real estate. And it's just, real estate's sexy, man. You go on a trip and you stay in an Airbnb and you're like, this house is awesome.
Yeah.
And real estate is really attractive to me. I like the buildings themselves are just beautiful. I really appreciate real estate. And I know there's huge returns on your investment. And so I've always been very interested in it.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's never boring every time you're buying a new property.
Yeah.
It's always intriguing. And
That's the truth.
not yet anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so 16 years old, reading Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Did anyone like hand you the book, or like how did you stumble into that?
Man, that's I don't even know. That was about half my life ago. I know my mom always read financial books, but she was like super conservative in her investing strategies. So she would read a lot of like that stuff and just be like, nope, you got to put like 20% down on each rental. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of that was ingrained in me.
Yeah.
And it's great for some people, just that's not the investment strategy I wanted to take, nor is it the one I take now. And so, yeah, I really don't know. I read like one book and then it was like boom, 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 boom. And I just started flying through financial books and I just loved them. Yeah, they're really nice. So
Okay, cool. Well, I don't think it's that weird. I mean, I started at 17.
yeah.
reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, so
Yeah.
I was a weirdo too, I guess. But
Yeah. If anybody has not read that book,
yeah,
read that book.
you got to read the book.
Yeah, it'll change your perspective on money. It's
Or
crazy.
listen to the audio.
Yes. Yeah.
It's free on YouTube.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so moving forward.
Yeah.
So 8 years in the janitorial business.
Yeah.
What are those like? Over time, did you start working less and less and hire more and more?
Completely, yeah. We within about 3 years, we were able to start hiring accounts out, and then probably 2 years later, so at about 5 years into the 8 years, everything was hired out. We were just managing people, which is what I wanted to do. And then about 2 or 3 years ago, we hired an operations manager who went out and did quality control checks on buildings. She did supply runs, helped train employees, things like that. I'm really, really big on like the delegate and elevate type of model.
Yeah.
If you can do it, somebody can do it even better than you, and teach them how to do it, pay them well. So,
Nice.
yeah, so it pretty much, it runs itself. I spend about maybe maybe 2 hours a week in it right now, just basically.
Oh, that's all. Okay.
Yeah, it's our manager. She handles all the communication with employees, with clients, training. If we don't have to hire somebody, I'm like, people don't even know I'm in that business.
So with the janitorial business,
Yeah.
Obviously it makes money for you.
As well.
Why leap towards real estate?
Yeah, our son, his name is Cruz, and when we had Cruz, I went from like being slowly interested in real estate, like we'd picked up some rentals and things like that, to like, okay, I really have to get serious because
hold on. So you picked up some rentals. Can you talk about the first one you bought and how you made that work?
The very first rental I bought was actually a primary home of mine.
Okay.
Bought it in 2010.
That's a good way to start.
Yeah. I was 19 years old and I got a rural development 0 down loan.
Nice. USDA loan.
Personally, I think that's crazy that they would give a 19-year-old a house with no money down. It's an awesome program if you can take advantage of it. But luckily, they gave it to somebody who is financially responsible. And my mortgage payment was $497.
Okay.
And I had 2 roommates that paid me $250 each, so I cash flowed $3. And anyways, we ended up selling that house a number of years later for a lot more than what we bought it for. And we rolled those proceeds into a duplex that cash flows $1,000 a month and has been really good for us. And then we own our primary home, so that's it.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you rolled the proceeds of the first rental into buying a duplex?
Yep.
Okay. Is that duplex in town?
It's in Rathdrum. Yeah.
In Rathdrum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Does that one cash flow okay? Are you planning on keeping that one, or are you gonna?
Yeah. No, it does really. It does about $1,000 a month right now.
Okay.
So we're
cool.
Yeah, we have no plans on selling that, and we're going forward. We want to start picking up like next year. The plan is to pick up 12 rentals. We kind of want to do one a month.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really selective about the rentals. Like this one, I think was built in 2005, so it's newer.
Okay, cool.
So many guys buy houses with character, they call it. And yeah, maybe I'm novice, man, but that's a little out of my wheelhouse right now. Everything I've wholesaled or flipped this year that has character, like it costs a lot of money to fix that stuff.
Yeah. Old houses. I hate old houses.
Yeah, I do too. They're great for flips and wholesales and things like that, but for rentals, it's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, things are just built so much better today.
yeah,
Like by a long shot.
yeah, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think people that just don't understand that at all, they fall in love with old character stuff, and it becomes a money pit.
Yeah, they should develop a slogan like "character costs" or something. Newer homes are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you recently. Are you developing a couple homes right now, building from the ground up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're building 7 houses right now. A few in, most of them in Bonner County.
Cool.
And one in Post Falls.
Awesome.
Love to keep them all as rentals, but numbers just don't make too much sense. It makes a lot more sense to flip them to this market that's insane right now.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'm buying a couple other rentals that I'm remodeling right now.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. But I have bought new construction rentals before.
Interesting.
And numbers at the time worked out great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Houses were a little cheaper then?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
And this was just a couple years ago, or 2-3 years ago. But yeah, we can get into that another time.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I'm a huge fan of new construction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of an end game for us. But especially we just took on a flip that started last week, and I realized there's an unbelievable amount more that I need to know about construction in general.
Yeah.
Like how to swing a hammer would be really handy, things like that. And I need to know so much more.
Yeah.
But we have good people, good teams. So
that is good. My brother and I got decent at construction just by we hired a really good experienced handyman.
Yeah.
And we would just be like his assistants
Yeah.
on a whole flip and just whatever you need. Okay, show us everything.
Yeah.
And use YouTube and all that. And
Yeah.
felt like that really helped us get a great knowledge of construction just doing a couple of flips.
Yeah.
With somebody who's an expert. Yeah.
The best learning experience, and I believe this in just about anything you do in life, is when you just jump into it. Like this flip I bought, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what my renovation budget is going to be. I don't really know what repairs need to go into this, but we got a big enough deal on it to where a lot of stuff could go wrong and we'll still make money. And so our contractor right now, who's actually my stepbrother, we walked through the house this week, and it's just, oh my gosh, I've learned more in 5 days of being in that house and books and videos and seminars, and it's crazy. It's fun. It's really fun.
Books and videos and seminars, they are a great way to waste time.
Yes.
If you want to learn.
Yeah, that's the truth.
It probably sounds hypocritical a little bit, but just the effectiveness of learning when you're on the site is so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there is podcasts, things like this, books that you read, they're amazing, but if they don't make you take action, they're pointless.
Yeah.
Absolutely pointless.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay, so so you got a duplex at this time while you're building your janitorial business, and you slowly, so after just 3 years or so, you started hiring people?
Yeah, maybe
or
2 years.
Contracting them out?
We, my wife and I absolutely love to backpack. And I think the second summer we had the business, we hired a really, really minimally part-time employee so that we could get out and do a lot of backpacking that summer. So, but yeah, about that.
Okay. All right. So you're getting into real estate. What direction in real estate are you focusing on?
Right now, we're focusing on wholesaling, which for those people that don't know what wholesaling is, at its basic form, it's literally learning how to source or find discounted real estate. So with that wholesaling, we sell those homes to other investors, or we take them down and fix and flip them, or we take them down and, like what we did with you, it's called the wholesale, where we put it right back on the MLS.
Yeah, like that afternoon.
Yeah, that was, gosh, man, talk about amazing flips.
Yeah.
And then, or we're getting to the point where we're going to keep a bunch of them as rentals, but we had to build up a pretty big capital reserve, which we've been able to do. So
okay, so you started the wholesaling business first so that you can get the cash to buy more rentals. Is that right?
Yeah, we literally started the wholesaling first so that we could find our own deals. This market is extremely competitive. And I kind of, just the natural progression of things, I was like, hey, how am I going to find my own deals? Well, I got to learn how to market to distressed properties or distressed homeowners, distressed scenarios. And then throughout that, it was like, well, there's a lot of these houses that I don't really want to flip. Like, this is way bigger of a project. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I know a guy that knows how to flip these. And so we basically flip the paper. I'll get the contract, and it's an assignable contract, and somebody else will close on that sometimes. Sometimes we will close on it and then resell it to an investor. There's a lot of different exit strategies. But
okay, so let's talk about assignment a little bit.
Yeah.
You're doing this in both Washington and Idaho, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So is there any difference in legalities when you're wholesaling? Do you know of when you're going in Washington versus Idaho?
I would definitely talk to an attorney about that. But what we did is we basically brought our contracts to an Idaho attorney and a Washington attorney.
Oh, okay.
And we said, hey, can you please review these? This is what we're doing. We're wholesaling real estate. It's assignable contracts. Sometimes if we don't close on them, we could assign them.
Yeah.
And they reviewed the contracts and said, you're good to go. There are states like Illinois that wholesaling is illegal without a realtor's license. And so there's
really
things shifting in the industry right now.
Okay.
The National Association of Realtors, I love realtors, I love you, but they are pushing pretty heavily to change the laws for real estate wholesaling.
I don't love the National Association of Realtors at all.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm a required member.
Yeah.
I mean, to have my real estate, unless I was to go start my own office, which I'm a broker, I can do that. I don't have to be a member of the Realtors, but I do to have the MLS.
Yeah.
So they kind of have
you
a
have to,
monopoly on the system.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword, but
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the Realtors Association at all.
Yeah.
So I don't
they're
blame you
changing
for that.
laws because and to be fair, there's a lot of wholesalers and people investing out there that they're not in it for the right reasons and they're not doing things the best way. And I do think that those things need to be kept in check. But it's not in my opinion, it's not a blanket resolution to it. So you can't just say, oh, it's illegal without a realtor's license, because there's dirtbag realtors out there, man. You can't just say you got to put a license on it and now that person's a good person. I mean, so that's my little 2 cents on it. But
yeah, and all a license really is, it's permission to make money from a state.
Yeah,
in general,
and to pay them to do so.
Yeah, and to pay them for that permission.
Yeah, I don't ever want to become a licensed realtor. I hope
it doesn't necessarily mean that you're in good hands.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with someone who's licensed, they just went through the required application process and stuff. But
pretty much.
I mean, that can get politicized, I'm sure, quite a bit. And so we'll move on.
Yeah. But yeah, as of this point, that's what we're focusing on, is really building our brand, building out the company, figuring out kind of what we want to do with it. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So you're good for both Washington and Idaho. Is there one state that you prefer or the other? Or do you care?
I prefer Idaho
Really?
for picking up properties. Just because it's my backyard. I live here. I don't have to drive as far. The renter laws are much more friendly towards landlords.
Yeah.
And Idaho is just, especially, we've kind of seen some major shifts with COVID and like what the governments say you can and can't do. And Idaho has been great, and Washington has not been great on that. They've been really difficult to work with. But adversely, there's a lot more distressed properties in Washington. And we pretty much contacted every single person with equity in their house in Kootenai County, which is the main county we target over here. Got 2 deals, and then it was like, well, you can't like keep bugging these people. So there's just a much bigger pond to play in Spokane, so to speak. So
that's true. I mean, what do you have, 4 or 5 times more of a population?
About that, yeah. And the amount of distressed homes is a lot more. Yeah, it's quite a bit.
So do you have to be careful about like which neighborhoods in Spokane you go into? Or there's some that you just avoid that you know you can get great deals but don't even bother? Or do you just go after whatever has good equity? Is there always a buyer?
We've always found a buyer. We've been really blessed. I have Billy Deese, which is the realtor you referred me to over there, is your counterpart over there. You're all my Idaho stuff. He's all my Washington stuff. And I pretty much had a conversation with him because I know Kootenai County. Like there's not really anywhere in Kootenai County I wouldn't want to invest. There's maybe a couple of pockets. Yeah. But I told Billy, I'm like, dude, I know nothing about Spokane. Just tell me, like, I'll send you a deal for comps. And if it's a bad neighborhood, just let me know. Other than that, I'm going to push forward. So, yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, so you got somebody you trust.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because Spokane's huge, man. It's going to take me a decade to like even learn the streets over there. But
I don't even bother.
Yeah. Yeah. Maps it.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you enjoy most about wholesaling? What do you enjoy least?
Yeah. Man, that's a great question. What I enjoy most about wholesaling is the speed with which you can make money and help people. For instance, I got a home under contract Friday. Was today Monday?
Yeah.
I found a buyer for a Saturday for $45,000 more than what we had under contract. That's like a day, and it's got a 2-week close period. So, I mean, there's just very little areas you can make that much money that fast. And we're able to help people extremely quickly, which is awesome. When I got into this, it was like, nobody's going to want to sell their home at a discount. Like, that's crazy. I would never do that. There are a lot of situations where I've literally talked to people that were like, I talked to 3 realtors and the realtors won't even list my house because it has too many repairs that it needs done, or just all sorts of stuff. Families are breaking up because they inherited a house and one sibling wants to sell, one sibling wants to keep it, and stuff gets crazy, and they need the problem solved quickly. And that's where I'm able to come in. So that's what I like most about it is you make a lot of money helping people, which is really, really unique. What I like the least out of it, oh man, there's not a lot I don't like about it. I got fleas on me in a house like 2 weeks ago. That sucked. That place was nasty. So this is just a quick story. I go out of this house in Deer Park.
Yeah.
And I walk in and I'm taking pictures and I'm like, wow, that's like quite the smell in this house. And it's just like floor to ceiling garbage. And
was this the one that you sent me?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
$50,000 place.
Yeah. And so the gal like 2 minutes in this walkthrough, she's like, you're going to want to make sure you brush off your legs. We have fleas. And I'm like, flea, what the heck? And I like look down at the carpet and the whole carpet is moving. Like, I'm not even kidding. Stuff is just bouncing everywhere. And I'm like, you don't have fleas. Like, you have what should be burned down.
Someone is living there.
Yeah, dude. And it was really sad. Again, one of those scenarios where stuff needs to change for this person really badly, really quickly. And so I got it under contract for $45,000. And I was driving home and I was talking to another wholesaler and I was like, I did a joint venture with another company and I'm talking to him about that. And I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I just got fleas at this house. Like I spent like 20 minutes picking them off my legs. And he's like, oh yeah, dude, we looked at some land out there and like, it only goes for like $50,000 for 10 acres or something. And I'm like, shoot, I just got that under like 45,000. And so I literally went home that night and I canceled the contract, called the person back and said, you know what, there's way more repairs than I thought.
Yeah.
And somebody I had talked to about that, like an hour later was like, hey man, I'll take that for like 60. And I had canceled the contract. Yeah.
Oh.
So
couldn't go back to it?
I have learned a lot. No, I tried to go back to it and she's like, nope, you canceled it. We're going to sell it to someone else. I'm like,
wow.
Solid. Just lost like $15,000 because I'm stupid.
So
learning curve.
That's how you learn.
Yeah, that's how you learn. You lose some money. By God's grace, I didn't lose money. I just didn't make the money. It's
you
not
just
like
lost an opportunity.
Yeah, I lost an opportunity. But yeah, dude, I've had to go in some houses where like just the 5 minutes I was in the house was horrible. And I don't know how people live in those houses. And so that's kind of the worst part. And I've seen some legitimately like sad scenarios where the people, they need help not only in them selling their house, but like these people need help in their lives. Like they need mental health. They need a community of people to surround them and uplift them. And they just didn't have that. It was really sad.
Yeah. No, I have changed my mind about wholesalers in general.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I first kind of got into real estate, I thought wholesalers were kind of shady.
Yeah.
And man, you're just robbing people of equity.
Yeah.
And that was just my mindset. And then over the years, I started buying some deals from wholesalers and seeing the situation that these sellers were in. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. These aren't the type, some of these people, they're not going to put their house on the market. Mm-mm. They're just not there.
No.
They're not going to get things cleaned up. A realtor won't even come in here. They need to stay in the house after closing. Their creative things need to happen.
Yeah.
And I started realizing, oh yeah, it's almost like in the car business where you have some junky cars that people just need to drive. If they can make it to the dealership to just turn it in.
Yeah.
They don't care what it could be worth if it's cleaned up.
Yeah.
They just need to get rid of it.
Yeah. And we've had scenarios too, like we have this parcel of land listed with you right now that we got. And I told the gal, I told her when I bought this property, I said, hey, the comps are like way all over the board for this. Like there's a parcel that sold for 10,000 more for yours than yours, and then like 50,000 more than yours. And I told her up front, I said, if I can sell this for more than what I'm anticipating, I'm going to give you more money. Like I'm going to come back after the sale and give you money, just because that's the type of business I am genuinely in this to help people. I'm not in it to like take every penny I can off the table. Yeah. And so you can't do that in a traditional sale. Like that just doesn't happen.
No.
Your bank's not going to give you a loan for $300,000 and be like, you know what, this house is actually worth more. Why don't you go and give the seller $5,000 more? That doesn't work. But we're able to do that and stuff like that. So I agree. There are some wholesalers that they do take advantage of people. And I've had some calls where I told the people, they're like, hey, I'll sell this for $125. And I went in their house. I'm like, I'll buy it for $140. Like I'm not going to, that's crazy. Don't sell it for $125. That's not good. So we're really in it to help people.
Yeah. So, okay. So what, have you made any? Have you bought any rentals then since you started wholesaling?
I haven't. We've only done 9. We didn't even get our first deal until like May. So we've only really been doing deals, my company, for about 4 months, and we've done 9 deals in that time.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's been a big blessing. Just 9 over the summer. I've been happy with it. But there was one I wanted to keep. It was that house on Guy Road that we actually wholetailed with you.
That's right. Yeah.
I wanted to keep that so badly. It was like such a nice newer home. But I had a partner at the time, and the best thing for us to do was to inject a lot of cash into the business at the time. So we did that, and I want more of those houses to come up because it was such a sweet house.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was an easy deal.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy easy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right on. So it's funny. Last week, driving in my Dodge, going to Lowe's to get lumber, and I hear a radio ad pop up, and it's your voice.
Hi, this is Chad with Homebuyer. Yeah, that's me.
I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then like, I think that later that night or the next day, I'm getting Facebook ads targeted towards me.
Yeah.
From your company.
My bad.
And you've really stepped up your marketing game here recently, haven't you?
Yeah, I love marketing. Marketing is the lifeblood of any business, and it's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun. I like marketing. To me is a machine. You put in $1 and it spits 10 back to you, or 5 back to you, or 3, whatever your ROI is for that. But yeah, we're doing a lot of marketing right now. So.
Gotcha. So you got radio ads. You're doing Facebook marketing. What other kind of marketing are you doing?
We this year have done direct mail texting campaigns where we blast out tens of thousands of text messages, cold calling. We've done, we've done everything. Facebook ads, pay-per-click ads, radio, search engine optimization. We're doing a lot. And what I'm trying to do now is more of inbound marketing. So pay-per-click ads on Google, Facebook ads, radio, we're looking at TV, things like that, just because it's just a different lead source. When you mail out, like you said, like 10,000 mailers, you have people that call you and tell you to sit on like sharp objects and things like that. And those phone calls aren't super fun.
No.
All those went to voicemail, and I would return the people who were not threatening.
Yeah.
But I really like inbound marketing. To me, it's a lot more respectful. Like when I get a text message from somebody that's like, hey, do you want to sell your house fast? I'm like, dude, why are you texting me? Like for one, I'm on the do not call list. But that stuff just kind of irks me. And we did deals that way, but I just kind of quickly found out I like inbound marketing more. I want the person that's going to Google me. And it's just the conversations you have with people. And when you're in it to help people and people come to you that want help, you're not seeking them out, they come to you. It's just a different beast. And I enjoy it a lot more. It's not going to burn me out. So
yeah.
And it won't burn out our future team members, things like that. So
yeah, you can burn out quick.
Yeah.
When you're sending out letters and getting calls from people that don't want to talk about their house.
Yeah.
And they want to talk about why you sent them a letter.
Exactly.
It's interesting. I remember I think my brother and I, when we first started like getting into flipping houses,
mm-hmm.
we did 2 or 3 campaigns of mail.
Mm-hmm.
And this gym owner off 4th Street in Coeur d'Alene got a letter from me, and he was basically telling me to stop by, drop him off $100, or he's gonna blast me or complain to the Realtors Association that I had misleading ads. And it was just so weird. And I just dropped him like, I don't want to deal with this kind of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was, and I think his business went broke. It was the truck shop.
Why.
There's a truck shop.
Yeah.
But whatever gym was there before that owner's a piece of shit. No wonder he's gone.
There's people out there, man. We had people, you should seriously go effing kill yourself. And I'm like, dude, I mailed you a card.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you get junk mail all day long. Throw it in the
trash. Are you
trash.
calling everybody else that sent you a letter?
Yeah, man. And I mean,
there's a lot of those.
Whatever's going on in their life, there's something. And I was just a tipping point. But yeah, it's just sad. Not the conversations I want to have.
Yeah.
But we made money off of them, but just, I don't want to have them. And I'm lazy. Oh my gosh, am I lazy? I want the calls to come in. I don't want to make calls. I don't want to do that. I just want my phone to ring. So,
yeah. Okay. So, what marketing source would you say so far is like the least effective?
That's hard because we've done deals on everything.
Okay.
We literally have done deals from pay-per-click. We just started Facebook ads, so I can't attest to that. We've done them from texting, from cold calling, from radio, from referrals. We've done deals from just about everything. My take on marketing is nothing is ineffective as long as you're consistent.
Yep.
But some things require more maintenance. And you get higher return on investment from some channels. I'm still building the data on what my ROI looks like, so I don't have
still
a lot.
relatively new.
Yeah, but I mean, like, for instance, on that texting campaign from that house on Guy Road, made like $49,000 on that from a text that cost like a penny to send, and the platform we use costs like $500 a month to use. So our return on investment was astronomical for that.
Right.
But it was just not. Yeah, we ran out of people to contact. It's getting pretty saturated for people that are using texting platforms, especially in Spokane market.
Okay.
They're all good. Whatever marketing you do, just do it consistent. There's a lot of people that try something for 3 months, didn't work. Try something for 2 months, didn't work. And they just switch and switch and switch. Just continue to do it. The same things for marketing have existed since the beginning of products. And everybody has made money off of them. Nobody has failed in any one category. And so it's just, you just got to do it consistently. You have to know who you're targeting, know what message to get them and when to get it to them. It's basically marketing. So,
okay. I'm curious about the radio ads.
yeah,
Is that really expensive to put on?
it's very expensive.
Yeah. Can you give us a little idea of?
Yeah. So a station is, so we play 100 ads a month, and our average station is about $2,000 for what they would charge people. I don't pay that because as a wholesaler investor, I don't pay full price for anything.
So you negotiated the radio ad?
I did, but it
Nice.
took months. And I still have some stations that are like, you're high. You will never get ads on our station for that. I'm like, that's fine. Like, just, I'll wait. But yeah, if we were paying full price for all of our stations, it'd be upwards of like $14,000, $15,000 a month for radio.
Okay.
But because
for it to play 100 times.
Yeah, because we're on
in
seven stations right now, so we have 760-second ads.
Do they have any kind of data at all on like how many people could be listening at any one time?
Absolutely. TV does.
Because I'm curious,
radio does.
Like, how does the radio know how many people are listening?
Yeah, it's
like,
kind
are they able to track that data anytime you're randomly tuning in?
They're not able to track that. What they do is they send out mailers. It's the same with TV. Okay. They send out a mailer and say, if you fill this out, we'll pay you $3, and they'll mail you a check for $3 or whatever. And our radio rep was literally like, I don't know like how accurate this data is, because I remember getting these as a kid. And my dad's like, here's $3 to fill this out, and I just checked boxes. So yeah, we don't really know. I mean, you obviously want to target homeowners, and
do they give you a rough idea how many people it's going to hit?
Yeah. So between our 7 stations, they call them CUMs. That's your weekly cumulative listeners. We are probably having between 3 and 350,000 CUMs that we played during those times.
Wow.
Whether people had the radio on at that specific moment, who knows? I mean, it's kind of a crapshoot. But when you have 700 ads, you're going to get some traction.
Okay. So. What kind of calls has that brought in many calls so far?
Yeah.
Radio ads?
We're getting a lot. So we're talking about like targeting in marketing with texting, cold calling, mailers, things like that. You can literally target specific homes. That home's on a pre-foreclosure list. This home is on a high equity list. This home has been owned for 20 years, things like that.
Yeah.
With radio, you can't target anything. It's like spray and pray. And so
you're just shooting a shotgun in the air and seeing if anyone gets shot.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I'm getting a lot of rural leads, like guys that have older manufactured homes on like 10 acres, like 100 miles out of town, because the radio casts a large net. And so
those aren't bad leads right now.
I can't do anything with those, man. Hook me up with somebody, because I can't move those to save my life.
Really?
But it'll be people like way the heck out there. But I get a lot of those. I get a lot of contractors that call and they're like, hey, I'm not licensed or bonded, but I do a lot of work, and would you hire me? I'm like, okay, well, for one, no, get licensed and bonded, and 2, like work on your sales pitch. Yeah, like don't start out with your
3,
disqualifications.
don't call me back.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, it's been good. We'll get calls from like other people wanting us to advertise because they heard our radio ad. So you just kind of got to sift through the stuff. I haven't closed any deals. Oh, you know what? No, I did close one deal. That land we're flipping with you on the Idaho side, that was a radio lead.
Was it? Okay.
Was that radio? Yeah, I think that was radio. I'm horrible at tracking this stuff right now. Like I'm still building all the data for it. And then we've done some deals over in the Spokane market for it, but it's been not too bad. A lot of what I hear in my industry too is like 75% of your deals come from follow up, and so only having done this for a couple months, this could be really productive, could be not too productive. We have different phone numbers for each radio station for every type of marketing that we do, and we track the amount of calls that we get. So in time, when we have enough data, we can tell, yes, this panned out, this didn't, put more money here, take money away from there, things like that.
Yeah, I got, since you're relatively somewhat newer in the real estate world, I'm just going to give you one piece of advice, and that's definitely track all your data over time. Yeah. Just do it right from the start. Yeah. Because it really kind of helped me and my team focus on what works over time. Because if I didn't track it, I wouldn't have realized that my average sale came from a year and a half's worth of work. Yeah. Like 18 months was the average from when I first talked to somebody, because I don't delete emails or anything like that, and I'm able to go back and track. I save my phone history, save phone calls. That's awesome. And I've been able to find out that, from the moment I first talked to somebody, when we actually sell them something, the average is like 18 months. That's awesome. And we have in our spreadsheets of every transaction, anytime we go pending on something, we have a drop down, where did this lead come from? And it's, personal sphere, referral, or client referral, past referral, some sort of marketing, lender referral, something like that. Yeah. That way over, by the end of each year, we can see on a pie chart, that's okay, awesome. What was the most effective and what should we focus on more next year? Yeah. Maybe drop a few things and save some time and just, so I would encourage that if you're bad at tracking, hire somebody to track it.
We have a CRM, a client relationship manager, or whatever they call them. And we just have updated this one. We were using Podio for a while, and it's like Chinese. It's crazy. And then we went to a different one called RE Simply. And it's awesome. It allows us to track all of our key profit indicators, things like that, your KPIs, and where things come from. And in this, there's a ton of automation. So it takes a lot of follow-up out of me. Like if somebody says, no, you were too high, we're not going to take your offer, I literally click 2 buttons, and it sets them up in a drip campaign to where they get a text message 4 months later, and then they get a ringless voicemail drop from me, and then there's a reminder for me to call them. And so I have automated follow-up for like 3 years or something. So I don't have to do that. I click the button and it's done.
Right. But you do have to initially set it up.
Yeah.
You got to input the client.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, that
take the initial notes. Yeah. Set it and forget it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, so how many rentals do you have now? You got just a duplex, or
we have just a duplex. Okay. We're going to be probably moving out of our house in the next couple of years, and because we'll have 3 kids in a 3-bedroom house, which it works, but we'll just need something a little bit bigger. And we just refinanced that to a crazy low rate, and so it will make sense as a rental when we move out of it, which is always kind of been our goal. When we move out of a house, it's either going to roll into a rental or become a rental. And so
no, I think that's smart. Try not to sell your real estate.
And it's a 3-year-old house, so nothing should be going wrong with that anytime soon, God willing.
That's great. Any other advice for since you've been kind of awesome your first year? You've already done 9 deals. So if you didn't do any more deals, do you think you'd be all right?
We'd be
for the year. Okay.
We've made in the last 3.5, 4 months, we've made about 3 times what we made all of last year with 10 employees. So we've been super blessed.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my only advice, just find your why in business. Like if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, you're like a ship without a rudder. Our why for our business actually comes out of the book of Philippians, which the Apostle Paul wrote when he was in jail to encourage the church in Philippi that he had founded. And I think it's in the 2nd chapter, he just kind of drops this one-liner, And he says, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but rather in humility, value other people as more important than yourself. And that has been like an anthem for mine and my wife's life. It's been an anthem for our businesses. And so whatever we are doing, and it's hard, pride creeps in and things like that, but we always try and take a position of valuing other people and their needs above ours. And we've just found that when you do that, what you do flourishes because you're helping people. And there's a lot of people that are not helping people out there. And that's crazy to me. Whatever you're doing, you need to do it to help people. Regardless of what product you're selling, what service you're providing, it needs to help people and better their lives. And that's our why. So find your why, and it will motivate everything you do. Anything you do, you will view through that lens, which is super important to your business.
Wow. Well, so with such a specific life purpose like that, it's no wonder you're a success. So thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Gleaned so much and learned so much from you, and you've been an extreme help to me this year. To anybody watching, Nick's the guy to go to if you have investment questions, if you have houses, anything like that. He legitimately took us from here to. He has condensed an immense amount of knowledge into teaching me this year. It's been awesome.
Well, you've helped me too.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Thanks.
Thanks for tuning in to the Investor Shed podcast. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel for instant access to all future episodes. If you or someone you know has investing experience or stories to share, reach out to us in the comments or via email.